Welcome to the Mycotoxin Prediction forecast brought to you by Biomin, the world leader in mycotoxin management. This week, we will look into the predicted risk for mycotoxin contaminations in European maize. Wet weather and high humidity are critical for infection with toxin-producing fungi during flowering time and continue to be critical for the accumulation of mycotoxins in the crop. By now, the first crops are about or already have been harvested in regions that have advanced furthest, which span from the Ukraine south to Turkey and Greece. Crops in growing regions of southern Italy and Spain are expected to mature next. Late August brought abundant rain to regions from Denmark to northern France that had already entered the critical flowering stage, with little to no rain in Mediterranean countries where maize already had entered ripening and started to reach maturity. As crops progressed through grain filling in Central Europe, the weather had dried up in the first 2 weeks of September, with average daily temperatures reaching up to 20 degrees Celsius in France. Consequently, our predicted risk for deoxynivalenol in Central Europe is lower in some regions than our prediction 2 weeks ago, but remains overall high. The weather forecast for the rest of September predicts rain returning to Eastern and Central Europe, in particular around the Alps, whereas the forecast predicts continued little precipitation for England, the Benelux states and western regions of Germany. Based on the current weather forecast, the predicted risk for aflatoxins is highest for countries that experienced hot conditions favorable for growth of the fungal pathogen, in particular Italy, the Balkan states and Turkey. The average risk for harvests to contain aflatoxin concentrations higher than 2 parts per billion is given here as percentage average for major European regions, giving more weight to higher yielding areas. The highest risk is calculated for southern countries, with a predicted chance of 18% of harvests containing aflatoxin concentrations above the threshold. High concentrations of fumonisins are expected in countries with high humidity combined with higher than average temperatures. The predicted chance for harvests contaminated with 500 parts per billion fumonisins or more is highest with 49% in southern European countries. The risk for Central and Eastern European countries is estimated with 29 and 19% respectively. Weather dependent, these are higher estimates than what was expected previously. Deoxynivalenol also depends on rainfall, but accumulation is associated with cooler, temperate conditions. The predicted risk is therefore moderate in southern European countries with high temperatures and little to no rain, but risk is high throughout the rest of Europe with up to 61% chance to exceed the threshold level of 150 parts per billion. These are still very high, but overall lower estimates than what was forecast previously. Analogous to deoxynivalenol, Zearalenone is produced predominantly under cooler conditions. The predicted chance for contaminations higher than 50 parts per billion are highest in Central European countries and Northern European countries, with 32 and 29% respectively. Keep tuned in for our European mycotoxin prediction and occurrence updates as the maize growing year unfolds.